All right, let's get right into it because today we are going to tear down one of the biggest financial myths out there. We're talking about why the super rich don't just use debt, they actually master it to build their entire fortunes.
Just let that sink in for a moment. Most of us, we're told that debt is a bad thing, a weight we need to get rid of as fast as possible. But the wealthiest people on the planet, they see it completely differently. For them, it isn't a prison at all. It's the fuel for their rocket ship.
So here's the thing. At the heart of all this is the idea that there are two totally different sets of financial rules. There's the playbook for the 99%, and then there's this kind of insider's guide for the wealthy. It's time we all understood which game we're actually playing. And this right here just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the hamster wheel, the standard advice, slow and steady, save for retirement, pay off the mortgage. But on the other side, that's the rocket ship. It's a completely different mindset. Billionaires figured out how to stop working for money and instead make their money and, crucially, other people's money work for them.
Now that's a pretty bold statement, right? But the point is this, that conventional playbook, it's not just slow, it's a trap. It's a game designed for you to just get by, not to actually win big. So if you want a different outcome, you can't just play harder. You got to play a whole different game.
And this is really the key. This isn't just about financial tactics. It all starts up here in your head. The very first step to changing your financial life is to completely reprogram your mental software, or what the source material calls your biocomputer. This illustrates it so well. Think about it. If all your mental energy is focused on getting out of debt, what word is your brain constantly hearing? Debt, debt, debt. You're actually keeping yourself locked in that reality. The switch is to change your focus, to start thinking, how can I use debt to buy assets? Suddenly, your brain starts looking for opportunities, not just problems.
And that's exactly it. Your subconscious mind is powerful, but it's not that smart. It just runs whatever program you give it. If the program is debt, it will find ways to keep debt in your life. The only real way out is to give it a new mission, a better command. Go find me some assets.
Okay, so once you've got the mindset right, the practical side of things starts to make a lot more sense. It's time to stop looking at all debt as a scary liability and start understanding how the wealthy have redefined it as one of their most powerful tools, leverage. And here's what that really means. Leverage is not about borrowing money to buy a new TV or go on vacation. It's about strategically borrowing capital to invest in something, like real estate or a business that is going to pay you back more than what the loan costs you. That's the huge difference between consumer debt, which makes you poor, and strategic debt, which can make you richer.
This is the bottom line, really. It's a simple sentence, but it represents a massive shift in thinking. The moment you can look at a loan and see a tool for building your future instead of just a burden from your past, well, that's when the entire financial game changes for you.
So you might be wondering, how do they do this without risking everything? Well, it's not about being reckless, it's about being smart. The wealthy build what are essentially financial fortresses to protect themselves while they use all this leverage. Let's take a look at the basic structure.
The absolute workhorse of this whole strategy is the LLC, the Limited Liability Company. Just think of it as a legal wall. It separates you personally from your business and your investments. So if something goes wrong with a property or a company inside an LLC, your personal stuff, your house, your savings is safe. It's fundamental. Okay, let's break down this amazing strategy step by step. First, your main business makes a profit. Now, instead of just taking that money as income and paying a ton of tax on it, you move to step 2. You protect it by rolling it into a separate LLC that you use to buy an asset, like a rental property. Now, here comes the magic. Step 3, you leverage it. You go to a bank and take out a loan against that property's value. And step 4, you take that cash you just pulled out, which is debt, not income, and you use it to grow your original business or buy even more assets. Then you just repeat the cycle.
And here it is. This is the secret key that makes the whole thing work. The money you get from the bank in that refinance, it's not income, it's a loan. And like the slide says, you do not pay taxes on debt. This is how the rich create massive amounts of tax-free cash to grow their wealth. They are literally using the bank's money to build their empires while legally paying as little tax as possible.
So as we start to wrap this up, you can see that the final leap is really about changing your identity. It's about shifting from thinking like an employee or a saver to thinking like a true investor. It's about seeing the whole system, money, assets, and debt as pieces on a chessboard that you can move around.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Saving is important, sure, it gives you a safety net. But nobody ever got truly wealthy by just saving or by trading their time for a paycheck. Real wealth is built by owning assets that work for you 24/7. And using smart debt is one of the fastest ways to acquire those assets.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to really think about. Now that you've seen how the wealthy play the game, take a look at your own finances. Is the debt you have just a chain holding you back, or could you start to see it differently, as a key that can unlock a very different future? That choice and that power is entirely in your hands.